With the rising trend of influencer marketing, it's not entirely impossible for athletes to make more money in a year than we could dream of in a lifetime, thanks to several other sources of income. Before there was notorious legend Floyd Mayweather, we had athletes like Tiger Woods and Michael Schumacher who've been able to amass billions of dollars in revenue. In this video, we'll reveal some of the world's wealthiest billionaire athletes. Let's begin. First up, we have Floyd Mayweather at $1.08 billion. Easily considered the best and without question the most talented boxer of this era, Floyd "Money" Mayweather has shown the world an unprecedented mix of natural instincts, killer speed, and unrivaled power. Every time he steps into the ring, this combination has already translated into 6 massive boxing championships in 5 different weight classes. Back in 2018, this boxing legend procured a massive $275 million, which is easily categorized as one of the biggest paydays in the history of sports, against his match with Conor McGregor. Naturally, this upped his net worth by a lot, and he eventually decided to start his own promotion company for his boxing games. That also resulted in profitable revenue because he got to receive a cut of the pay-per-view, the sponsorships, the merchandise, and international TV deals for some of the most lucrative fights in the history of boxing. Mayweather finished his career with an undefeated record that would make many envious of the man's skill and talent. Despite coming from a rather humble background, he made enough of a fortune through the sport to achieve the very best in life. But is Mayweather actually rich? But despite earning all his fortunes, rumor has it that the boxing star is either soon to be or already bankrupt. The IRS claims that the Grand Rapids native owes them nearly $30 million in back taxes for the tax years of 2010 and 2015. He was then sued by a real estate developer in Florida who claimed that Mayweather had backed out of the purchase of an $8.5 million house and owed the first installment, which came to $1.7 million. The lesson here is to pay your taxes and your real estate developer, kids. Up next, it's Roger Federer at $1.09 billion. Even though Federer hasn't engaged in any pro tournaments in the last couple of months and announced his retirement earlier this year, he's made more money from endorsements outside of the field than any other athlete in the world. He's the face of several high-end luxury brands like Rolex, Mercedes-Benz, Credit Suisse, and the popular Japanese clothing apparel brand Uniqlo. In 2020, he was ranked as the world's highest-paid athlete with a total fortune of $106 million and has been consistently ranked as the highest-paid tennis player for 16 consecutive years. His $1.1 billion earnings just from endorsements and business endeavors alone are twice more than what his top rivals Nadal and Djokovic have been able to make over the course of their careers. Now, what do his endorsement deals mean post-retirement? Federer has a number of long-term endorsement deals with more than a dozen brands, and most of them have stuck with the legend for more than a decade. It's probably safe to say that despite announcing his retirement, he's set for life thanks to all these deals. Even Lindt has made an endorsement deal with the Swiss legend, and we're totally envious of that since he probably gets free chocolates for the rest of his life. In 2018, after being paid over $150 million over the course of 20 years, he left Nike to pursue an even more profitable deal with apparel brand Uniqlo, which was reportedly worth over $300 million over the course of 10 years. At the peak of his career, Federer could easily ask for a massive payout of $2 million per event to play in smaller tournaments and exhibitions. Moving on to Lionel Messi at $1.15 billion. Having clinched the World Cup for Argentina, we do not doubt that this absolute GOAT will only soar higher. While playing for Barcelona, Messi was the highest-paid athlete, but the forward soccer player happily took a 50% pay cut when he joined the Paris Saint-Germain team. Besides his existing brand deals with Budweiser, PepsiCo, Adidas, and Hard Rock International, he added another $20 million to collaborate with the fan engagement group Socios earlier in March 2022. Lionel Messi is one of the top athletes to make it to the Billionaires Club while still being active. His several sources of wealth include football contracts, investments in various businesses, and endorsement deals with multiple brands. Is he the best footballer in the world? Possibly, but we definitely know he's a rich one for sure. Coming up, we have LeBron James at $1.16 billion. Being one of the most successful and celebrated basketball players in the history of the sport definitely comes with its perks, financially and otherwise. Now, add a lifetime contract with Nike on top, and the stakes are completely changed. That's what life as LeBron James is like, and the lifetime contract contributed a significant amount of wealth to the basketballer's already flourishing income. Earlier in October 2022, this basketball icon also sold quite an important minority stake in his production company Spring Hill, valued at around $725 million. Whoa! Unlike some celebrities, James has managed to make money from his money by taking equity stakes in several brand companies that he's managed and endorsed. This includes Tonal, the at-home fitness company which gave him the final final push to $1 billion revenue. As one of the NBA's highest-paid active players, he's been able to generate more than $385 million in salary from playing with various teams like Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Los Angeles Lakers, following up with Tiger Woods at $1.17 billion. Each year, this golf champion would rake in $100 million off the course, and at one time was able to lead the Forbes annual list of the highest-paid athletes in the world for a decade straight. Despite being a legendary champion, Woods made less than 10% of his career earnings from golf winnings. The rest came from a number of massive endorsement deals he could maintain across an iconic 27-year career. In 2009, Tiger Woods made history after becoming the first athlete to reach earnings of over $1 billion while being active in his career. At his ultimate peak, he was one of the most prolific brand endorsers in the history of athletes. That's a high achievement. With all that wealth came a host of luxury items, like expensive cars and gigantic mansions, some of which he ended up losing in a very ugly and widely publicized divorce battle. Now, we have Cristiano Ronaldo at $1.24 billion. While the world debates about who the real GOAT is, Cristiano Ronaldo is busy becoming the world's all-time soccer goal-scoring leader. He's garnered over 500 million followers on social media, which allowed him to rake in enormous endorsement deals from sponsors like Herbalife, Nike, and Clear Shampoo. He also made several personal investments in projects like Tatal Restaurants and the soccer community app Zuju GP, and we all know with his name attached, those are bound to pay off. Besides playing football, his net worth has considerably increased throughout the entirety of his career thanks to all these endorsement deals and sponsorships with several clothing brands. He's got his iconic name on everything from sports and soft drinks to financial services and video games. Talk about multiple income streams. All of these endorsement deals have helped him earn huge sums of money on an annual basis. We're talking upwards of $100 million from brand collaborations alone. With all that wealth coming in, Ronaldo has also been a key figure in raising money for important causes, such as the Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami in 2004 and the 2015 earthquake in Nepal. Let's talk about Michael Jordan at $1.6 billion. The former NBA star is known as one of the greatest legends in the history of the sport, but interestingly, he didn't acquire his billion-dollar status until much later, after his retirement in 2014, when the NBA franchise gained worldwide popularity. Being a basketball legend, one would think he would have made most of his earnings from his playing salary during his career, but like many other athletes, this isn't the case. He made a total of $90 million from his NBA salary, out of which $63 million came during his final 2 seasons playing with the notorious Chicago Bulls. But perhaps one of his most lucrative career earnings comes from his connection to Nike. In 2015, Michael Jordan made $100 million each year thanks to royalties from Nike. The popularity of Air Jordans got a fresh new facelift in recent years, thanks to several celebrity partnerships whose aim was to connect to a younger audience, and they succeeded. That also gave birth to a new style of retro designs that managed to reconnect with some of the original fans. That sounds like a win-win situation to us. Other profitable endorsement deals include Gatorade, Upper Deck, and many others. He also owns a number of successful restaurants with locations in Connecticut, Washington, and Chicago. Also, if you're ever in North Carolina and looking for a new Nissan, head over to Michael Jordan's Durham, North Carolina dealership. Moving on to Vince McMahon. The former wrestler bought a business and changed the entire game. He was able to lift it from a regional operation to the world-renowned global phenomenon that it is today. He was instrumental in changing the way people perceived professional wrestling and made WWE a billion-dollar enterprise with a global standing. With over 40% control of the company's shares, he's a majority owner who's bringing home the big bucks. Today, WWE easily rakes in over $1 billion in revenue each year, according to the already growing wealth of the former wrestler. Besides WWE, McMahon also founded Alpha Entertainment in 2017 to announce the return of the XFL Football League. With the world's population at over 7 billion, Vince McMahon has made it to the top 1,000 richest former athletes in the world. That's a wrap for this video. Do you have any thoughts about these athletes who have made billions? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.